That's show your jam, ain't it?
Hello, Annette. How are you today?
I'm awesome. I'm sharing my
Oh,
page.
all right, I'm doing the same. And hello, movers. How are you all doing today? We hope that all is well because as for me, I am blessed and highly favored. We thank you all so much for joining us tonight. You could have gone anywhere else with your time, but you chose to stop by here and have a conversation with your faithful co host, myself and Annette L. Anderson here. So we say welcome to Can We Talk? You tuned into Can We Talk, brought to you by Movement Worldwide. We are a motivational organization there to educate minds, empower, nurture, and transform. We are a movement to move. Yes, we are a movement to move. We want to help you thrust into your purpose so that you can start living the best version of yourself and win. We've tapped into some winning information. We have some winners resources. We're seated at the winners table and we invite you to take a seat right along with us, right, Annette?
Yeah, that is so true. As always, we look so forward to being with you, and it has been a good day, and I'm blessed to be here. So we're glad you're here. We're looking we have some good stuff, some sad, some, and even but we'll get into all that. But thank you so much for sharing.
We always say that you have come to the right place. You've come where the table is spread and the feast of the Lord is going on. So you are in the right place at the right time. We appreciate you so much. But before we go on with our discussion, we ask that you do a few things. Let's greet a few people. Hello. Grace Union Completion. Oh, she's telling us I had the wrong time on the thing. I'm so sorry. Hey, listen. Sometimes I make those mistakes. We had the wrong information on the text message, so hopefully, when people got it, they'll see that it said 7 p.m. that we live right now. So thank you so much for pointing that out. She said the text message had 8 p.m. So sorry. But welcome, Grace Union Completion, the completion, and then go ahead and that.
Oh, completion.
You see how you said that? Shine, the vibrato. So
Yeah.
good evening. Welcome. Hello, Arnita, the beautiful elder Arnita Patrice Ely is in the house. Thank you so much, Constance Green. Hello. So before we move on, we want to ask that you do a couple of things. We're gonna take care of some house matters. Make sure, whatever video you're watching from, that you please hit that like button, hit the thumbs up button. Give us some love, give us a heart. And we also ask that you click that arrow. That arrow is the share button. We want you to share this to your page, share it to your DM. DM a few people. You can share it in Messenger. And if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, you can click that link and you can share it in text message. You can send it via email. We ask that you just take a minute right now and share it with about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people that you know. Just send it to a few people that you know and let them know, hey, your faithful co-hosts are on. Anita and Annette, they about to go in. They talking, they doing the thing with Can We Talk, the best show that happens midweek in the world. Come on, somebody. Hello, somebody. So tell them right now, come on in. You better get your mug and you better sit down because we about to have a conversation up in here. So yeah, we have a few more people coming in. But she's saying and that Grace Union Completion.
I need voice lessons. Grace Union Completion. That's
I feel you. All right. So we go, hey, that's another one we need to get. Is everybody going Grace Union Completion? I'm still waiting for some of our outways. I need y'all to get those into me. Send them to info@movementworldwide.org. Just hold the phone. I go, outways. Okay, you got that? You got me, Arnita. You got me, Constance. You got me, Grace Union Completion. Always. That's all I need is always. You ain't got to look so cute to go, always. Here, let me get my phone so I can show y'all. Always record that and send it to us because we want to get y'all on our compilation. All right. So without further ado, we're gonna go into I think. Oh wait a minute, I got to do all the rest of the things here. So make sure you subscribe also to that channel. The other thing I want you to do is you can sow a seed, sow good seed into good soil, and we are good soil. We're a nonprofit organization. Every cent that you sow into this ministry, it will go to good use, and we always pay the returns to you 100-fold. So you can share by going to our Cash App $ Movement Worldwide and sowing a seed there, or you can come into covenant with us by becoming a patron. Well, how do you, what'd you say? How do you become a patron? I'm glad you asked. You become a patron by going to our website, movementworldwide.org. There's a patron button right at the top, a red button that says become a patron. It's also in the middle of the page. Click that button. It'll take you to patreon.com where you can set up your account and set your amount. We ask for $12 a month. That's 40 cents a day. But whatever the seed is greatly appreciated. We just do need the seed. So please sow a seed into good soil. And you can also follow us, that globe right there above Annette, everywhere. Follow us at Movement Worldwide. And you can email us at info@movementworldwide.org. All right. So now it's time. It's about that time to go into our conversation. We have a very interesting way of presenting our little presentation mode is very different. We know. We have three phases of our conversation that we have on Wednesday nights. One is our our transformational topic, those things that make you go, hmm. You know what? So we like to deal with idioms and phrases, the things that make you go, Stealing that from Arsenio Hall. So our topic tonight is very, very common. Our topic tonight is something I'm sure that has been used by every mama in existence. I'm sure that there has been a time in your life that you have been warned that a hard head makes a soft behind. That's an old saying. That's one of
Yes,
the
Lord.
things in that goes along the lines of telling somebody they mannish. I remember I said that. You remember this? I said that to somebody one time. Somebody, man, I ain't heard this since my grandmama.
Oh my gosh.
I know it makes you think, right? Those are like, when you think about these little idioms and phrases that our mothers and grandparents and people like that use, it will make you go, It will make you go down that road. So this particular phrase has been used many, many, many times. A hard head makes a soft behind. And what it technically is talking about when we see that phrase is technically talking about, like, for a child, when you're dealing with children, it means if you insist on doing what you want to do and not what I tell you to do, then you're going to pay by getting your butt spanked. That's what that means. So now let me bring it on. Well, I ain't no child. I know you're not a child. Neither am I. But however, we are children of the King. So in the natural, even in the natural, when you are constantly doing something that is hard-headed or stubborn and does not and you do not do what is decent and what you are supposed to do, even when it comes to the law, to your job, paying your bills. Don't go mess around. Don't pay your light bill. I wish I could do. I wish I had a clapper right now. Clap,
I
clap.
know that.
That would be an effect for you. Clap, clap. Those lights gonna be what is off. I don't care who you are, who you know, and what you do. The lights are going off. So when you look at it from that perspective, it's like, So if your hard-headedness makes you pay as a child and it makes you pay in society, what do you think is going to make you do in your relationship with God? When you're constantly doing what you're not supposed to do or not abiding by certain principles and laws and rules and regulations and doctrinal value systems, the fruit of the spirit, etc., the commandments, however you want to look at it. You mess around here and keep on doing. Must we continue in sin that grace may abound? No wonder God referred to, like when we look at the children of Israel and looked at how they were referred to as a stiff-necked people. when we look at our situations as women and men of God and people of the cloth, people, who, sitting in the pews, people who might be on the usher ministry, greeters, choir members, whatever it is that you are serving in a local ecclesia, or people who have the responsibility to be steward over anything, an organization, nonprofit organization. We have these things that we are responsible for. We have things that people look up to us for, or even the responsibility in the natural as parents. We have a responsibility to do the things that we're supposed to do. And in society, there are times that when we don't do what we know we should do, it applies and we pay the ultimate price. And that's ultimately, I'm trying not to get on a soapbox tonight, because we all are aware of what has happened. And I'm going to stay off of that because we're going to talk about it again later. But we all are aware of what has happened. I don't care what political party you're a part of. I don't care what area of the world you live in. I don't care what your grandfather did and your mom and them did and how y'all went hunting and all this kind of stuff. I don't care about your rights at this point. What I care about is that there are 21 people and 19 of them babies that are gone. And when we as society do not do what we're supposed to do, a hard head makes a soft behind. And unfortunately, it is other people who suffer because we are determined to be rebellious, a rebellious nation. And that is why we are where we are today. That's why we saw what happened in Brooklyn. And that's why we have seen what has happened in Texas. And we're going to continue to see things of this, like this, start manifest if we do not turn from our wicked ways and pray. There's, I marvel at, I look at what Elder Ely is doing, Elder Anita Ely. I promise you that takes some discipline. It seems like every time I look on Clubhouse, what is she doing in that? She's praying. She got prayer going this morning, last night, 4 a.m. in the morning, Angela on at 11:45, and I can't catch all of it sometimes. And I'm like, oh my God. And consistently, that is what you call the fervent, effectual prayers of the righteous. And that is where we as people in this society and in this climate, where we as Christians, that is what we are supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be praying.
You're right.
But the problem is, and it goes past prayer. Let's go into that's still in the natural. There are some things in the natural that we are supposed to do as people, as citizens. We want to sit on a seat or do nothing and complain, but we won't vote. We want to talk about it and deal with it and complain about it and say, if it was me and if I, but we don't take the time. I heard somebody say this today on one platform. I don't even remember. And they said we owe it to our society that when we see a child that's troubled, instead of talking about them and talking about their parents, see if there's a way that you can be of some help. Because there's some people who just don't know what to do. Now, you can't save everybody. But y'all know that child you see in church and you be like, child, something is wrong with him. And you know something's wrong with him. And you see that mama struggling, chasing behind that child. And I sometimes get a little offended, but sometimes it's not about what you going up and telling the mama how to raise her child. Sometimes it's just as simple as, girl, let me pick up your boy and take him with my boy and go something and do something. Or take a liking. There used to be times that people took a liking to children, not to say you want to turn your child loose with everybody, because, in this day and age, there's some crazy stuff happening. But there used to be a time that people took a liking to children and they would just do the little extra special. Sister so-and-so bought your school clothes. Mother so-and-so did this and bought you a Christmas gift. But all we do is we look at the child running around, who the one that don't look quite at you. You know what I'm talking about in that. You be looking at me like, And he ain't looking at you. He looking at something, but he ain't looking at you. I just seen a many a child that way. And then they grow up and all of a sudden, or that child that all of a sudden they grow up and they become introverted and they don't talk to nobody. And it's weird. It's like they don't have a conversation. That's when you have to dig deeper. And it takes a village. And we as parents have to not be afraid to surround ourselves with the right village. We should be prayerful from the time that child comes into the world that we have the right village around that child, because it's going to take a little bit from all of those people that you are connected to pour into that child. Yeah, so what? It's 20 something people in your village. It might just take that, because everybody's got something special. But when we don't do the things, Annette, that we know that we need to do, we sit back and we see instances like this, and then all we do is whine for 2 or 3 days, and they ain't gonna do nothing. And what about that? Okay, what about you talking about they ain't gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you doing? Stop sitting back and saying what they're not gonna do, and let's see what we can do. There's a whole lot that we can do. But when we don't, a hard head makes a soft behind.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on it?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Anita. Um, Everything you said is so true. I read a post today when the lady was every time you say something wrong, yeah, but this person did this, but we're not talking about them. And then one lady said, "Well, we have guns to protect our kids." And I didn't reply because I want to say, obviously, it didn't work.
Mm.
Obviously, it's still back. Even Ted Cruz, it went right back to the like. Oh my God. Everybody is now. Yeah, some people do have mental illness. Yeah, but some of that ain't is down. That's a corrupt soul. That that's a spirit. Oh, everybody ain't crazy. Some of them are, but everybody ain't. That's just a corrupt soul. He knows he's going out. He's gonna take people with him. What an awful, awful human being, But we see it time after time, and this is just the stuff they talk about. It's a whole lot of other stuff that go on that they don't even bring on the news. Mamas killing their children. In 1 week, it was 3 mamas that killed a total of 7 kids. They killed their children. And one was Asian, one was white, and one was black. So they even by color. They murdered the kids last week. Woman got stopped for some type of issue with a car. Had a 6-year-old son in the trunk. She killed him. So there are some people who need some help. If we can send, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna get on my soapbox. If we can send trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars to other countries, no disrespect, because they need help, but we gotta help our people too, and stop talking about the doggone. We like to go, well, this says that, and listen. Some of them laws need to be changed anyway. What's that? The Constitution? We like to go by the Constitution. That doggone thing was written in 1800. Come on now. But anyway, that's just my opinion.
So, listen, trust me, we're going some other places. We're going to go there because there's something. And these are things that need to be talked about. And unfortunately, everybody's not going to do it. But it is our charge to. So, therein lies our transformational topic. We're so excited that we are here tonight because we do have some other stuff, but y'all know we got to deal with that serious stuff. Y'all know we do. But can we talk in it? Oh, look at she got it done. Bam. All right, so it's time for us to go all the way into our discussion. A hard head makes us stop behind. I hope that helps somebody, made you go made you think a little bit. So we're going to shift gears a little bit. We've had our toast. Now we're going to go to our quote from the quoteologist herself. We're going to pause for the quote from our Annettism by Annette L Anderson for just about a minute, and we'll be right back. You have time to share with somebody and let them know, hey, our favorite co-hosts are on. They on and popping. They talking. There you go, Arnie. I'm like, can we talk? So you got time to share and say they on and popping. We get ready for that hard to have conversation. All right, now we're going to pause for our Annettism, and we'll be right back in a minute.
I want to share with you a story about a beautiful little girl who resided in a small town and knew little about the world. At 15, she was pregnant and married the child's father, experienced much pain and wondered why. did she bother. She felt he was the one that would love her to infinity. Instead, he became a stranger. Yes, he was now her enemy through the verbal, mental, and physical abuse she endured. She's now the mother of two, and her purpose was secured. But looking in the face of a kid, she knew it was time to go. Divorce was the answer since she was tired of feeling like zero. This little girl has become a woman now walking in victory. Overcoming the odds, she made it in spite of her history. This little girl from a small town is me. This is Annism's Expressions. All right. Sometimes I just like to tell my story
Mhm.
in poetry.
It
But
needs to
anyway,
be told. It needs to be told.
yes. Well, it's time for the power tool, y'all. There are some matters and experiences that causes people to become hurt, fractured, or broken spiritually and emotionally. We experienced that in the last week or two. I mean, some of the stuff broke me to the core. Sometimes it just take a conversation to mend the broken heart or spirit. And Anita alluded to this. In some case, a band-aid won't do it. That's all they've done. They put a band-aid on it. You need a power tool.
Power tool.
I want to talk about something tonight. I was just searching the internet and I came across something, and it was very interesting. It really screamed at me. Is born again pews, born again pews, and I'll tell you what I mean in a few minutes. A born again pews is a church furniture company that manufactures church products and services available for a congregation that need furniture. Born again pews is an expert in designing, refinishing, and building custom church pews, table chairs, and pulpits. But to be born again is a term Christians use to describe the new birth that occurs in a person's spirit when they accept Jesus as the final sacrifice for their sin and receive his free gift of righteousness. The Bible refers to this experience of being born again using many different terms, including the new birth, according to John 1:13, which were born not of blood, nor of the flesh, nor of the will of God, of man, but God. John 3:3 says this. Jesus answered and said, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. Well, I had questions in just running in my mind for the last couple of years. And I began to look at my belief system. And so my question is, where do we stand in our religious belief? Did it change because of the COVID? Have your faith grown greater with the COVID-19 outbreak? Did you need to be born again on the pews? Well, tonight I will attempt to deal with each of these questions. So, born again on the pews really resonated with me because we are now going back into our churches. For so many, for at least almost a couple of years, a lot of it, there were some people who defied, where's your faith? And, all that foolishness. It has nothing to do with faith. My faith was to stay home. That was my faith. I walked in faith because I like going to church. But when I wanted to deal with the born again pews, I was looking at the fact now we're going back to church, and now I see so many churches trying to operate in the way they used to operate. So you have people that's sitting on the pews, and now in the last couple of years, there's been some changes, and some people have dealt with some mental issues, some people have dealt with financial issues, things that they had never dealt with before. So they're sitting on the pews. So now I'm wondering why they're sitting on those pews. Do they need to be born again? So I asked myself, I know the saints say, once you've been born again, once you've been born again, you don't have to be born again. But I question that because then I begin to look at my life. Now, why am I sitting, even when I've gone to church several times, and I'm sitting and I'm struggling. I'm struggling sitting, number one, sitting by people. No disrespect. But the fact that I'm sitting there and I was sitting one day and somebody was just coughing and coughing, I'm looking like you may need to go home, you know. So I'm questioning, you know, I'm sitting there because everywhere you go now, somebody got a gun somewhere wanted to shoot people. So I'm sitting there, I'm thinking like, do I need to be born again sitting on these pews? This has been a personal struggle for me. I was said I was so shocked to see stuff that was being preached from the pulpit by other believers. So I began to, okay, God, am I walking the way you have called me to walk? The pulpit became a political circus. When did we start using the pulpit to call out Democrats because you don't like who they voted for? I saw that recently, where the man said, get out of this church." And about an election for a man and then really at the end of the day, Anita, it's all temporary.
Mm-hmm.
Even turning to television, I remember I was going through some things, you know, and I needed a word. I said, God, I need a word. You know how you get, you know I can read my Bible, I understand, I can interpret scripture, I can look up the words, but every now and then I need to hear a man and woman of God preaching. And so I would even go to turn to these programs, and here they are. They're calling the name of a former president more than they're calling the name of Jesus. So I'm asking myself, do I need to be born again on the pews? Is this thing is this religion that I've been walking in for almost 30 plus years? I began to question my walk with God. See, with all the trouble in the world, it's hard not to be overcome with fear. I tried not to let fear grip me. I tried to live life as normal, but I'm sitting on the pews in the church and I'm asking myself, do I need to be born again? God, what is it that I'm struggling with? Now, I don't know if a lot of people would just be real about it. You know, you may not have had my struggle, but there were times I bet without a doubt that you begin to question some things because people that I've followed, people that followed, you know, and I love their ministry and the things that they said, and it didn't line up with God. See, this thing has nothing. God has nothing to do with Democrat or Republican. Do you really think he care who the president is or was?
Mm-mm.
You know, do you really think he sits in there and say, "Oh, look at Trump. He is sure enough the one I call it that." No, no. And so we got so caught up. And then I'm looking at these people, and and see, I'm gonna just call me out because I begin to have some issues with them. So these are the people that, you know, people send them money. These are the people who preach every 2 and 3 times, you know, a week. And here y'all are, you're not even talking about the name of Jesus. That thing disturbed me to the core. So I had to ask myself, do I need the pew that I sit on? Do I need to be born again? So I had to understand that I had to understand that there are constant reminders of frailty of man and their decision. So I thank God as all the questions I had about myself, I went to the Word of God and He let me know. Listen, you're not the only one that feel that way. You're not the only one that's struggling. Even we look at the teachings that we had. You know, we're not the only one. First Peter 1:24 says this, for all flesh is grass, and all the glory of man as the flower of grass. The grass withered, and the flower thereof falleth away. Job said this. Job 14:1 and 2 said this. This is one of my favorite scriptures. Man that is born of a woman is a few days and full of trouble. He cometh forth like a flower and is cut down. He fleeth also as a shadow and continued. Now, so I had to understand that what I was going through was something that dealt with my walk, that I thought I was secure in what I believed. And I still believe in God, don't get me wrong. But I'm talking about things that really bugged me when I saw what's happening. And then people were blatant like, you know, like it's okay, but it's not okay. And then there have been others. Have your faith or fear grown greater with COVID outbreak? Well, have it. Have your faith got to the point that I trust God and God got no, baby. I had to question that. God, why is it? Why is it that this disease came into the land? Do I need to go on my pew and go be born again? Do I need to be born again? Well, why did so many people have to die? Why is it that God that we're walking around as though even now as though there's nothing going on? We don't even hear them talk about our leaders. All they talk about is trying to figure out how to maneuver things and stay in power, how to keep money coming. I'm like, God, but I had to understand something, Anita. God sees this and he knows it. And this scripture blessed me and helped me overcome some things. Philippians 4 and 6 says this: do not be anxious about anything. Don't worry about it. It would say, don't you worry about it. You don't have to go back and be born again. Say, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, the situation with the kids getting killed, the situation in Buffalo, the situation when they tried to make a jester a king, because really he's a dunce. But they try to take somebody who did not have any kingly qualities and make him a king. But it said, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God. And I had to get to that point in my life. Do we need to be born again on the pews? Do we really need to go back to our first love? Am I just sitting on the pews while deep down in my heart I know I need to get back to the joy that I once had? Do I need to be born again, or was I saved? Was I saved? I thought I was saved. Well, did I get pushed beyond what I anticipated? Did I have a thought in my head the way I thought God was going to move? And see, that was my real issue. What I did not understand is God don't move like we move. And it looks like he's not moving now, but listen, God works behind the scene. Well, the phrase born again literally means to be born from above. We need a change. We need to change our heart. We need a spiritual transformation, new birth. We need to get to a place in God that even when those things come up, when I begin to question my walk with God, when I begin to question, was I saved? I begin to question, God, how can you allow these people to do the things that they've done? And God had to remind me, daughter, you ain't always been saved. I allowed you to do some things. I allowed you to walk a certain way. I allowed you to go some places that you shouldn't have gone. But I had to take a look at my life as a whole and realize that I'm a Christian, and that will never change. Christian means a person professing belief in Jesus Christ based on the teaching of Jesus. So I had to go back to my first love and I had to dive into the Bible and really understand what God was saying. First Peter 4 and 16 says this: yet if any man suffers as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God on his behalf. My question to you on this night: are you sitting on the pew? Are you sitting there and you're questioning God? The only way you're gonna be able to overcome that is to really get into the Word of God. For I thought for just a fleeting moment that I needed to be born again. I thought that I was one of those born again. I need to be born again, one of the ones sitting on the pews every Sunday with my hand raised. Now I don't go to church like in the actual church, but I am the church, so I guess I am church. But I don't really go into a building. But the times that I've done it, I question everything. I question the word. The things that used to excite me didn't excite me no more. But God said, "You don't you worry about. You pray for every the other stuff that's going on." He said, "But you get in place. You line up. You do the things that you are supposed to do, and I got everything else." So my question: are we born again pew members? Do we need to be born again, Anita? Or do we just need to get back in the Word of God and really begin to get in the Word and so deep that even when we see stuff, it's going to still disturb us, make us cry, or whatever the case may be. But I know I'm saved, sanctified, and I am full of the Holy Ghost. And yes, I'm on the pews on some Sundays and some Wednesdays and some Mondays, but I don't need to be born again because I was born again many years ago. My problem is I stepped away from the Word, the study, because of like you said, those last 2 years, almost like it almost was a blur. It seems like it almost didn't even happen. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys tonight. And I know I'm not the only one that felt some of this stuff. It's been rough. It's been rough.
I said toes smashed. Toes good and smashed. Because you know what? It's like in some cases, I was thinking earlier and I almost typed this in. In a lot of cases, the only thing saved in the building is the pews. Only thing born again are the pews. But the folks sitting in the pews, are you as born again as the pews you're sitting on? That's something to think about, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting that the company named their company that, but then that is the truth, though, because as a whole, and a whole lot of us have been there where we've been professional bench warmers, professional. The professional attendees, but not necessarily even applying what we're hearing, or are we even hearing it? And the Bible says to be not to just be hearers, but be hearers and doers of the word of God. And we oftentimes don't even know what the preacher preached about 10 minutes later, even when he is preaching more than he died. So it's like, it's a very complex place to be in, but it really forces you, like I said, toes smashed and underneath my chair. It really forces you to examine yourself and to say, am I really?
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need to go back to that place. Take me back to the place where I first received you. Take me back. I want to go back there, Lord. Time we need to go back. Yeah. All righty. Enough of the toe smashing. Are your toes still good? Y'all still got some good toes? Y'all still got some good toes? You got some good toes? You got some good toes? You got good toes? Because my toes ain't good. All right, good people. So we're going to pause for a minute. We had a hard to have conversation. So we've gotten past our transformational topic and our power tool. It's time for us to go to the next phase. But before we do, as we have been all month long, y'all know this is, do you know what this month is? It's our anniversary. Boy, let me tell you something. It's some hurt videos. It's some hurt videos that are available for you to see. Lola said, I told you, your toes smashed, Lola. You all right? You all right? All right, so I'm going to pause for a moment. We've been playing flashbacks. So, and this one we played on Sunday, so this is a repeat, but I got something coming for this Sunday that's going to knock y'all socks off. But just sit back for a moment. We're going to pause for what will be our commercial break. And when we come back, we got to continue our conversation. So please, you got time to share with somebody. You got time to tell them, come on, y'all. Come on now. We'll be back in a minute. In lieu of our regular commercial break, please enjoy this flashback compilation.
And we've been having a lot of problems, but we keep, I get kicked out, she bring me back, I get kicked out. So eventually, we still go. These are as small and minute as this is, where you say, you know what, that's it.
And enlighten you. Our job is, we are not psychologists, we are lifeologists. Hello, Annette. Hey, can you hear me? Oh,
yes.
Okay. Hello.
Everything was just so on point with where I am at in my life right now. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much for imparting.
At the core of my onion, I'm at the I guess those layers. Mm-hmm. And I can see myself in like layers such as the non-relationship. I can feel myself.
You guys tonight.
Oh, thank you. We're glad to have you in our presence.
Onion, that's good.
Glad to have you in our presence.
Oh, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it over dinner.
Pray for me. Pray my strength in the Lord. Pray for me.
We got you, sis. We got you.
Hi, I'm Annette with the movement on the outside on a beautiful Wednesday morning. Tell somebody today that you love them. Let love flow. Be
I
blessed.
see you, Elijah. Come on. I want to see everybody get their groove on. Come on, Annette. I see your hands. Ow. I cut out all that stuff.
Thumb.
See, I'm living my best life, and I'm not going to go back. I'm living my best life. That's why I was in the volume there. How many of you feel like that? I'm not going back. Now that I know, I'm going to live my best life. Yeah.
Oh, get it off my shoulder.
Good place to be. It's that time. Tea time topics.
Lord have mercy.
Oh my God.
Help the children.
Listen, I think the funniest part. Oh, I'll be seeing some of the comments. Heard toe smash. Yeah, I think some of the funniest parts is like when we're like messing up. Like when I found those, it was like I know people probably wouldn't get it, but we're messing up and the thing is stalling. I'm like, hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? And then you talking and the thing keeps stopping and oh my God, it's awful. But to see the growth and now when you look now as to how refined things are, sometimes when we step out and we're in our calling or whatever, in our purpose, we think we're ready for the gusto right then. But God is trying to tell you ain't ready.
Yeah.
Look how that looked. You tell me if we were ready.
Yeah. Hair look tore up.
Oh, I'm telling you, I straight wanted to come with one of these hood numbers right here and say, him, just please, if you could just do that for me right now. If you could do that for me, and if you could get out the dog, we might be all right. Oh my God. But you know what? We've come a long way and I don't regret any of it. We have, God has been good to us. So y'all, and we thank y'all for who have been hanging. Some of y'all been hanging in there with us through all phases, and we appreciate you. All right, so we're going into our tea time topics, and we're going to start with the one that has us plagued. I'm going to ask that we would just take a second and have a moment of silence for the children. Amen. Let me tell you, this is a hard one. It's a hard one. I can't even begin to. Every time I think about it, every time I see a news clip, every time I see the pictures of the faces of these victims, my heart breaks even the more because I can't imagine. Right when I got the information that there was a shooting, I had just allowed my 6-year-old client, and those are her age groups. My 6-year-old client was walking out the door, and I came into that news, and it was devastating. But here we go again. But as the nation mourns the 25 lives lost, more details are emerging about the investigation, the gunman, and troubling clues leading up to Tuesday's massacre in Uvalde, Texas. The gunman shot his grandmother. And here's the thing. Somewhere along the lines, there was a sign somewhere that was missed with this young man. He shot his grandmother in the face. Shot his grandmother, and he texted his girlfriend about his plans. Authorities have identified the lone gunman as 18-year-old Salvador Ramos. Minutes before the massive shooting, he allegedly sent a series of text messages to a girl in Europe. Now, mind you, these people be dating online. Ain't never seen each other. a girlfriend in Europe, she was in Germany, as a matter of fact, who he met online, describing how he had just shot his grandmother and was going to shoot up an elementary school. According to screenshots reviewed by CNN and an interview with the teen girl whose mother gave permission for her to be interviewed, Ramos complained about his grandmother being on the phone with AT&T about my phone. It's annoying, he texted. 6 minutes later, he texted, I just shot my grandma in her head. Seconds later, he said, I'm gonna go shoot up an elementary school right now. He put RN for right now. The 15-year-old girl who lives in Frankfurt, Germany, says she began chatting with Ramos on social media app on May 9th. She said Ramos told her on Monday that he received a package of ammunition. She said he told her that the bullets would expand when they struck somebody. At some point, the girl asked what he planned to do. She said he told her it was a surprise and to just wait for it. On Tuesday at 11:01 a.m., he called her and told her he loved her and said, then about 20 minutes later, he texted that he had shot his grandmother and then the rest. As of Wednesday, the woman likely to be Ramos's grandmother was being treated in serious condition in San Antonio Hospital. It's not clear why Ramos decided to target this particular elementary school that had 535 students in grades 2nd through 4th as of last year. But before he entered the school, his vehicle crashed in a nearby ditch, and the cause of the crash was not clear. He got out of the vehicle wearing a bulletproof vest and carrying a rifle, the sergeant said. Now, when I look at where the car had been crashed, somebody had to have seen him walking because it was in a nearby ditch. I just, my heart aches and breaks because of the fact that here we have a person who literally purchased these guns right after his 18th birthday. And I heard somebody say today, which I always say all the time, that your brain is still developing at 26. At 18, you cannot possibly be prepared or ready for a high-powered weapon, but he bought not one, but two. And my thing is, you're not even capable. And our laws need to change. And that's just the bottom line. We got to do something. Because this can't keep happening, Annette. I'm going to let you speak.
Yeah, it can't. But you know what? What I've learned, because I listened to Ted Cruz. He didn't even really offer condolences like he should have. He immediately said, oh, mental health. You don't know if the boy was mental. You don't know nothing about him. You don't know he had mental. He may have been down. He did say he either evil or mental. And then he said, oh, yeah, but the Democrats want to start with the gun. Man,
this is not a
this
Democrat.
is not time for that. And you know what? A lot of them, until it knock on their door, just like Rand Paul and all the rest of them, when that man tried to kill a Republican back in there, he was on TV crying like a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Now you all puffed up. But until it knock on your door, they just, all they think about, honestly, is staying in power at all costs. That's why they try to change laws and everything, because they know they can't win fair. So they, that's all. It's about power and money. And if anybody go, they're going to moments of silence. And, we are resilient. And fly the flag, half staff. Well, the kids and those teachers still dead. And those people in Buffalo still dead. I don't care what you do. All that stuff don't bring nobody back. But anyway.
Doesn't bring them back. And then they can't argue, well, if everybody had weapons, what are these 6 and 7 and 8-year-olds going to do? That's ridiculous. So, and here's a coach, and this was very interesting. He was so upset. He lashed out. When are we going to do something? 3-time NBA championship winning coach Steve Kerr has blasted Republican senators, including Mitch McConnell, for refusing to pass gun control legislation after at least 19 students and 2 adults were killed in a shooting in Texas before the 18-year-old gunman was killed. The visibly emotional Golden State Warriors coach, he was speaking before his team's Western Conference Finals match against the Dallas Mavericks, said he is tired of offering condolences to devastated families, and he's tired of moments of silence. He urged Republican senators to stop blocking legislation that will require background checks for people wanting to buy guns. In the last 10 days, we've had elderly Black people killed in a supermarket, he said. In Buffalo, Asian churchgoers killed in South Carolina, California. And now we have children murdered at school. When are we going to do something? And he's right. And he said, and I quote, I ask you, Mitch McConnell, are you going to put your own desire for power ahead of the lives of our children and our elderly and our churchgoers? Because that's what it looks like. And he is right.
Nita.
Huh?
No. He gonna I just want y'all to know that they're trying to stop our guns. Boy, it ain't about your gun. Well, they talking about guns. Well, they didn't having guns didn't help those kids.
Didn't help. It didn't help. So ours go out. It's a mess. It's a mess that we're in. It's a tangled web we have weaved into in this society. And we have some other tea topics to get to, but we just had to deal with that for the moment because I know it's very fresh, and we're coming off of the heels of 2 other shootings, and it's a very sad case. But you know what? We're in the primaries. Everybody has to vote. And speaking of voting, this little fella here is back in the news. Wow, where you been? Where you been, Ted Pence? Where you been? Mike Pence. I'm not Ted Pence. Where you been, Mike Pence? Former Vice President Mike Pence is headlining a primary election campaign event. And here's the thing: he endorsed the one that Trump wants out of office, Brian Kemp. Woo! He rallied for him, and he threw his weight behind the one that Trump wants out. Former President Trump has thrown his weight behind Perdue. The former president still harbors a grudge over Kemp for refusing to overturn the 2020 presidential election results in Georgia. So the former vice president, and here's the thing leading up to it, he sent out a tweet and he said that Kemp is one of the most successful conservative governors in America. He built a safer and stronger Georgia by cutting taxes, empowering parents, and investing in teachers, funding law enforcement, and standing strong for the right to life. He is my friend, a man dedicated to faith, family, and the people of Georgia. I am proud to offer my full support for 4 more years of Brian Kemp as governor of the great state of Georgia. And then he got a picture of him doing like this. And then he said out of his mouth, and this was the big thing, he said out of his mouth at that rally that Donald Trump was wrong. And so it's taken him all this time to speak out in that. What are your thoughts?
Well, you know what, I guess whether he probably would never admit it, but it took him a minute to absorb the fact that this man was willing to let him die.
Yes.
You see, he had to absorb that, and then he had to try to find his way back in politics because he's been in politics for years. And so it had to be difficult. Not only was he willing to let him die, his family was there. And it took him a couple of days to even talk to the man. So it would to me, him and the other guy too, I can't think of his name, the one that he told to find some votes.
That's Kemp.
Yeah. Huh?
That was Kemp?
No, not Kemp.
Somebody else, the count. Yes.
Yeah, he won too. So I was really glad for that. You don't have the power. You're not all powerful, sir. And listen, this man getting ready to run for president. He feeling his way. He did the right thing. You lay low, see what you can do. And I had read about he had something that was saying a lot of people have been supporting him. So hey, we shall see. He just need to stay away from them flies. That's all I know to tell you.
I know that's right. All right, fellas. Now let's go ahead and turn the corner. Take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
On a light note, here you go, Annette.
Okay, great. Thank you. Well, I just missed this man. The Obama Foundation announced Monday that the former President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama will partner with Airbnb CEO Brian Chesky to create a $100 million scholarship fund, the Voyager Scholarship. The Obama Chesky Scholarship for Public Service will fund about 100 students college tuition who are committed to a life of public service. We need a generation of leaders who are willing to cooperate and build bridges. But it's hard to build a bridge if you haven't seen the other side of the river, said Airbnb co-founder Chesky. Oh, I like that. The Voyager Scholarship will broaden their horizon and give these young leaders tools and experiences that will shape their careers. There are young people across the country who have a passion for public service, but can't pursue it because of their student loan debt. We want to help reduce the burden, former President Obama added. If we want this next generation of leaders to be able to do what they need to do, then they have to meet each other. They have to know each other. They have to understand each other's communities. You're going to find young people from every corner of the country who are going to be future change makers. There are leaders everywhere. We just have to find them. Yeah, that's it. That's a prime example, Anita, what you were saying. We got to do something. Hey, it starts somewhere.
And here's the thing. Oh, sorry about that, wrong one. But here's the thing. I love them. I love them because you know what? First of all, they look good. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
And those are recent pictures. First of all, they look good. But number two, they stay on the battlefield for people. They stay working for people. And when and this is what I'm talking about, you know, just because he's not president, I mean he can't work. I'm like, every time I read some of this stuff in there, I'm looking for stuff that I could be doing. I like, it might be small, but guess what? It's something. It's something.
Yeah, yeah.
It may not be on a grand scale, but guess what? Little becomes much when you place it in
That's
the
right.
When you place it in God's hand and when you step out and just do it, you never know what God can do with that. So I'm looking for that thing. I'm looking so that, you know, hey, I wanted to be an articles written about what we're doing, not because out of vanity, but because we're helping people and we're bringing awareness that people can see that not everybody's against you. There's some people who want to see you win in this world. And that's our motto, is that we want to see you win, period. I love it. They listen. I don't think there'll be a time that we ever talk about about the Obamas that I don't get excited and start cheering. I used to say, you know, everybody think that Barack Obama their cousin. Well, yeah, well, I'm gonna claim him. I'm gonna claim him, Kyle. He's my cousin, so I'm gonna get him a teams up.
That's because they were a class act. It was a class act. They didn't have all that trailer trash going on, but they were classy.
Classy, no foolishness. All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
All righty. Going on to our next tea time topic. Howard acquires historic collection of Gordon Parks photographs, through his distinctive lens. Barrier-breaking photographer Gordon Parks visually captured the essence of Black experience in America. He created works that illuminated moments of Black joy and resilience amid marginalization. A vast collection of photographs taken by the visionary will live at Howard University. The HBCU acquired 244 images from the Gordon Parks Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to preserving the Kansas-bred photographer's legacy through exhibitions, literature, and multimedia projects. The foundation also leads arts education programs aimed at inspiring generations of creatives. The collection of captivating photographs encompasses imagery captured across 5 decades, with photos dating back to the 1940s leading up to the 1990s. The images, some of which were taken early in Parks' career, making an acquisition historic, reflect a multi-generational cultural journey. The visual capsule features vintage portraits of Black residents in Chicago and Minneapolis. It also includes photographs of African-American luminaries who shaped the arts, like visual artist Margaret Taylor, Burroughs actress Hilda Sims, singer and actor Robert Todd Duncan, and music conductor Charles Dean Dixon. With images that give a glimpse into the lives of Black Americans during the Jim Crow era, the photo collection underscores Parks' mission to use his artistry to expose and amplify the ugly truth surrounding racial injustice in America. Candid portraits of transformative civil rights leaders like Malcolm X and Stokely Carmichael shine on a light on visionaries who had a deep passion for social change. Other individuals include the collection who used their craft to shift the culture are Spike Lee, Iman, and Miles Davis. Howard University is proud to be the recipient of such an important collection of work by African American artists and photojournalist Gordon Parks. Howard University President Dwayne A.I. Frederick shared in a statement. All right. That's amazing. That's amazing. And you know what? That's what you call legacy. That's the kind of stuff all of us should be wanting to leave behind. And it's amazing to be able to find this stuff. I think we should probably capsule some stuff for our great grandchildren. Like, don't open this until the year 2070, that kind of thing. Because you never know, like writing letters and stuff and talking about things that happened in this time. You have any comments on that, Annette?
Well, I thought it was amazing because for those who say some of this stuff wasn't true, I like the fact that somebody captured it.
Exactly.
And it's with us always. So
exactly. You will forever see it. It is with us always is right. So we do applaud this entire effort. Thank you, Howard University. And thank you for sharing this with us. And we shared it with our movers and shakers. All right, fellas, take us on to the next tea time topic.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna say that. Okay, white mom's lawsuit. CRT made biracial son identify as black. If you needed any more proof that white conservatives have adopted anti-critical race theory propaganda just so they have an excuse to be white and fragile, look no further than one whiny Karen who has joined other pitiful parents in suing a Virginia school board over anti-racist curriculum. But Melissa Riley has taken white fragility to a whole new level while complaining that an anti-racist course has caused her biracial son to recognize his blackness. Riley's upset that she now has to deal with racial issues in her home. Wow. We didn't have issues before. He's in the 8th grade. Charlottesville mother Melissa Riley lamented ultra-conservative Fox News host Jesse Walters during an interview that aired recently. He said himself just as a black man, he's seeing things that don't go his way as racism, and he's finding safety in numbers. She certainly has issues with her son identifying as black. Already we can see that the problem here is Riley Harper's racist views, whether she knows it or not. She certainly has a problem with black people as she thinks we can invoke racism anytime things don't go our way. And she doesn't seem to think black is beautiful considering she said of her son during the interview, he looks Hawaiian. He's beautiful.
Sure.
I thought it was a joke. So my only question I have to her. So that means that you was raising a black child, but you wasn't telling her anything about his black family. And now that just because he don't want to clean his room, that has nothing to do with CRT. It means that he's an 8th grade lazy and don't want to clean his room. So she didn't want him to identify. That's stupid. Yeah, she need a lot of them.
No, that's
and then
right.
She's suing.
Oh my God.
She's suing the school board. It's their fault that her son now identifies as black. No, Chico, it's your fault because you got with a black man and had a black child. So let's not. No. Let's not. Don't go there. And he not a Hawaiian. He's black. I just think she's silly.
Did you say Chico?
Yeah. Come on now. Let's call it what it is. You may have racist views, but you show you wasn't racist for at least a few minutes or whatever the process was. Don't go there.
She wasn't racist for that minute.
To get that young man here.
She wasn't racist.
So stop bringing up blame. And shame on her that she hasn't been telling her son about his heritage. Shame on her.
Traumatized. And here they go. Listen, critical race theory shouldn't be taught. You don't want the child to know he's black?
Yeah. So that means he maybe don't have nothing to do with the other side of the track.
At all. Obviously not. Oh. Baby. Fellas, Come on, take us to the next one because this is
I just thought it
foolishness.
was hilarious.
Yeah, it was good.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Grace said, I have no words. You should have thought about that sleeping with a brother.
Yeah.
I know that's right, Grace Union Completion. You should have thought about that for the few minutes that you was doing what you was doing.
And now shame
That's
on
for
her though.
Grace Union Completion. Oh my God. That's some foolishness right there. All right, fellas, that brought us to the next one. Let's go to the next one. There's some stupid stuff. People do some strange things.
Yeah.
Oh man, like this. You see, this right here is a prime example right here.
I know. What an idiot.
Of how how they are raising little racist children that do stuff like that boy did in Brooklyn. In Kaufman County, Texas, a Black couple had the terrifying experience of a 9-year-old white neighbor coming to their door, cracking a whip in search for their 9-year-old Black daughter. Imagine if that child was outside playing. He had the nerve. Did you see the video on that?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh my God. Y'all Google it. He had the unmitigated gall, but he came to the wrong door. He had the unmitigated gall coming to these people's door, bamming on the door like he the police and cracking the whip. So when the boy was scolded and turned away by the girl's mother, he allegedly used the whip to damage the family's car. Then when the Black father went to confront the white boy's father about the car damage, the white dad pulled a gun, which he then shot, nearly wounding his own daughter. Much of the incident was caught on the Black family's doorbell camera and filmed by the mother. What's really going on here? Here's the thing, and when he bammed on that door, she put something on him, didn't she? She put a little cussing on him at the front door. Y'all have to go and look at.
Y'all have to look at it. Yeah,
I can't read what she said, but I can bleep out some stuff. She said, "I will call the police. You need to leave. Don't you ever beat on my door like that. Go." And the police came out. Here's the thing. They said it'll work itself out. He's moving soon. So when the husband got home and he went to talk to him about the damages done to the vehicle, this is when the dad gonna pull out a gun and almost shot himself and his daughter who was standing behind him. And then the cops got the nerve, to say, first of all, how are cops essentially telling this Black family, this is not what the cops said, but it's almost like they're telling the Black family white boys will be white boys. But coming to these people's house, looking for their 9-year-old daughter with a whip. Little old fella. Somebody just standing there looking like this here.
And he was using it too, man.
So I saw that and I wished I could have blinked my eyes and appeared there and whoop his little narrow tail. I know that's right, Grace Union Completion. But check this out. You see, but the father ended up, that's his mug shot.
Yeah.
He was arrested. And that's a couple, they truly a young little Black couple. Look at them. But that goes to show you. It goes to show you, it's like you about to kill yourself and your child. And it doesn't, it's not that, I don't even think that he pointed the gun at them. I think he had the gun in his hand just in case he was meeting somebody that was coming with some little resistance. It was like literally he was going to claim that it was for his protection, for the protection of his family. The man was being very kind because when you look at the video, he just knocked on the door. He's standing at the door and he's telling the parent what your child did. So you got a gun. And then the gun goes off, about to shoot yourself and the child. That's why you went to jail. Unlawful misfiring or something like that.
Yeah. What he doing with a whip? What y'all maybe thought? They think these are 1800s or early 1900s?
Beating at people's door. She put a cussing on him though.
Girl, I bet he did a good 45.
She could have kicked him and he would have landed flat on his back. And if it was an elevated thing anyway. That was some foolishness.
I thought it was fun. I mean, it wasn't funny, but when the mama got hooked,
bam, 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 with the whip, I was like, I have thumped him.
No,
a mess. I have snatched that thing from him and whipped his behind with it. Foolishness. That's what's wrong. But you know what? That's what they're breeding.
Yeah.
That's the mentality that's being bred in that foolishness, that propaganda, and that's what the problem is. That's what
Yeah.
their family is teaching them. Exactly,
Yeah.
Sharon. They're teaching them. That's the propaganda that's going into the heads of children, and then the little demons grow up to be big demons. That's exactly what it is. Whew. All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Foolish.
Oh boy. I just thought it was funny what she said. But anyway, all right, this is not a good story. I think his name is Enrica Naasco, a former substitute teacher from Miami Beach, was
Enrique,
arrested.
Enrica Nolasco.
Nolasco?
Yeah.
Okay, no, okay. He was arrested on several charges, including human trafficking, and is accused of giving drugs to adolescent girls in exchange for what a dirty dog for money and sexual favors.
Mm-mm-mm.
Nolasco, 32, allegedly used social media to make friends with students and lure them in. The former teacher is being accused of giving the victim drugs and vape pens in exchange for money and sexual favors. I'm not pleasures. I just put me a word in there. The girls' ages range from 11 to 14. According to the news outlet, the teen girls told them that Nolasco, known as Swaggy, okay, became friends with them on social media Snapchat, and
Mhm.
offered them drugs. Wow. The girls then told Miami-Dade police that he would accept sexual favors instead of cash. He was once a substitute teacher at Miami Beach Senior High School in October 2018. However, through an investigation, he was relieved of duty as a teacher after discovering he was contacting a student through social media. He shouldn't have been doing it. The young girls told the investigator in details, boy, how he would reach out to them on social media and sell them drugs.
Mm-mm-mm.
A 13-year-old suspended for possessing drugs on school grounds said she bought the vape from him through the social media account Real Swaggy on Snapchat. The
Mm-mm-mm.
underage student said that he told her he had other drugs and medical marijuana cards for sale. However, when he told her she was pretty and wanted to kiss her, she stopped all contact with him and blocked him on Snapchat.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, he's young. He's 32. So,
Mm-mm.
and that's dumb because using these social media platforms because they do monitor these things. There's certain things they look for, certain codes, certain words. What a dummy. And these babies, 11 to 14 babies.
So that's why middle school, I'm telling you, I always say middle school is the worst age because a sixth grader has no business in school with eighth graders, number one. Number two, it's too wide of a range, and then they're developing. I really love the way they used to do it in Daytona, where they had K through six, they had a seventh grade center where you're learning how to intermingle with people from all over the city, and then they had ninth and tenth grade. I mean, eighth and ninth grade, and high school was 10 through 12. That was a better setup. Since they've done that new setup, when that lady came down and took over from Kentucky and showed and revamped the school system for our state, it has been downhill ever since. That is a horrible, horrible stage. It's hard to find a middle school situation. I actually pulled Kyle out and put him in private school for middle school because it was ridiculous. And that's, I know a lot of people that do that. They homeschool their kids through middle school. It is a very pivotal time in their lives. And then this nasty buzzard around here trafficking and selling these girls junk, foolishness, big old womp, 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 womp for you. Foolishness. Ugh. Sickening. Sickening. I saw somebody put that up. Where is it? I just saw a comment. I thought I saw a comment. Just craziness, 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 craziness. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. My mind can't even wrap around it.
I know, nasty self. What an awful person.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Oof, oof. Well, on a lighter note, we have a good one, Rachel.
Yes.
Rachel, she better listen. When I saw this little thing right here, I was like, "Look at little mama. She doing her thing. She doing her thing." all, shoe off it all. Stunning moment when 7-year-old girl Talia Crawford wins race after her shoe fell off at starting line. The 7-year-old's father, notable boxer Terrence Bud Crawford, recorded the moment and posted it on Instagram, the New York Post reports. The video shows his daughter losing her shoe and sprinting back to get the footwear. She put the shoe back on all this time now and went into beast mode, not only catching up with her competitors, but also outrunning them and by a long shot too.
Sure
Bud
did.
shared how proud he was of his daughter in the post caption. I just can't stop thinking about my daughter's track meet yesterday, he wrote. She just doesn't have a clue how much she has just motivated me. This is the definition of not giving up, heart and grit. She let it all hang out, even when she was hit with adversity. The clip also shared on Twitter, where it was garnered almost 10 million views. Viewers were touched by the video and inspired to take Talia's resilience and as an invaluable life lesson. Her actions are a great reflection of how to live. Never give up, never stop trying your best, even when there are hindrances or unexpected hiccups, one user wrote. Incredible that she went back and put it on, another added. Despite the setback, Talia reaches her competitors and then overtakes them in a final sprint towards the finish line, to the amazement of her family, who could be heard shouting, "Go Talia!" You would expect her to maybe just keep running, but at age 7, you have no idea what they will do. I'd be proud of her too. What heart. Kids can sometimes be incredibly inspiring without even trying. She don't even know how many people she inspired. Little teeny little old.
Little something. That story, man, and this is what we talk about all the time. How you don't give up.
Exactly.
Things will fall all down all around you, but you pick it up and keep going.
You keep it moving. That Kim anointing,
Yes.
you gotta have that Kim
She's
anointing.
amazing. I
Amazing,
love it.
amazing, amazing. Listen, we are so proud of her, and we give her a serious, serious teams up from the movement. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, thank
Yes,
you.
hats
Awesome.
off, hand down, awesome. All right, fellas, take us to the next one. We almost done.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Okay. It was a rocky road for this mother, Latrenda Rush, who says she was taken back when Jacob's application to walk in the school's graduation ceremony was rejected in March. She fueled her anger into action. Do it, mama. The protective mother blasted the school on social media and launched an online petition calling for the school to change the policy. Facing public pressure, Abika posted a public apology on social media and remove the word dreadlocks from the policy. But that wasn't enough for Latrenda and Jacob. They wanted to ensure that no other student would be prevented from reaching their goals because of a hairstyle. So she hired an attorney and rallied against the school policy. I think that they've never had anyone to challenge them, Latrenda Rush told Atlantic Black Star. There's an old saying that when someone is doing wrong or has done wrong, they're not sorry for what they've done, but they started for how they got caught. Okay. The family traveled from Dallas, Texas to Pensacola, Florida for the graduation ceremony on Saturday, where Jacob and any other boys with hair past their ears could march under the revamped policy. It was a lot of sacrifice for him for the whole family. Homeschool is not a walk in the park, said Latrina Rush, who had a long career as a public school teacher. So to remove our mindset in public schools to homeschooling and choose this particular program and do the work that was required, I think that's his reward, being able to march. There are systems still in place that discriminate against African America every day in attempts to strip away at our rights to exist. Robinson told Atlanta Black Star, the Crown Act and standing up for an amazing student like Jacob is how we fight back. Yeah, they told me he had to cut his dreads if he wanted to march.
That is ridiculous. And
Yes.
and it's crazy when you see foolishness like this in today's society. I mean, bad enough. that history itself is being so, you know, so challenged, and you know, everybody likes to have their opinion as to why critical race theory should not be taught, why certain laws shouldn't be overturned, why things are the way they are. But it takes somebody to stand up. And I'm so glad that she did. I'm so glad that she did not let that rest, because, in a lot of cases, there are people who have had to cut their hair, had to alter who they are and what they do, all because somebody thought that they should not, um, should not have, what they have. I would have turned the school out. I know that's right. I would have turned it out, but they, anyway, it's just foolishness. But I'm glad for him, and and so homeschool is not easy. It's very tough. So hats off, hats off to that mom. Hats off to that young man.
Yes.
Hey, in solidarity, I'm holding up the Black Power fist just like you. I'm holding it up for you, my brother, all the way from Movement Worldwide. Awesome, awesome, awesome sauce. All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Oh Lord, this foolishness here. This woman. Every time I think about her, it's just something. A black man falsely accused of attacking a white woman while he was bird watching in Central Park has now landed a TV series on a major network. After the woman called the police on him, Cooper emerged as a stand-up by not pressing charges against her for falsely accusing him of a crime. National Geographic has greenlit a new project from Christian Cooper, who asked the Caucasian woman to obey the law, put her dog on a leash in New York City Central Park, with the woman in turn accusing him of attack. Providing a little insight into the show, National Geographic TV tweeted, "Lifelong birder Christian Cooper will take us into the wild, wonderful, and unpredictable world of birds in his new show." See, look at God. Look how he do. The Extraordinary Birder. A press release from National Geographic states, whether braving stormy seas in Alaska for puffins, trekking into rainforests in Puerto Rico for parrots, or scaling a bridge in Manhattan for a peregrine falcon, he does whatever it takes to learn about these extraordinary feathered creatures and shows us the remarkable world in the sky above. Clips were shown ahead of Disney's upfront presentation in New York on Tuesday, May 17th. 2 years ago, Christian became an unintentional headline. In May 2020, the 59, see, that's what I'm saying, it's not too late. The 59-year-old bird enthusiast drew national attention after he went bird watching in Manhattan's largest park. While watching, he encountered Amy Cooper, that's her with that dog. She was dragging the dog too, and her unleashed dog. When he asked her to put her dog on a leash, she refused, and so he instinctually decided to film the exchange after she became agitated and lying. He's attacking me. That's what they do.
That's what they
But
do.
then look at God. What you meant for evil, God turned it around for good, and bro got a TV show at 59 in that.
Come on.
Look at God. And that's what I'm talking about. When you do the right thing, when he was just minding his business, and he was right to tell her to put the dog on the leash. You don't know how somebody's dog is an attack dog. That's why there's a leash law. But look what God did. Look what he did.
We got, oh my God.
He got a TV show. Somebody help me say, what you think? What's your thoughts?
That is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Amazing. All right. So, fellas, we got one more. One more. Come on, take us to the last one. Fellas with no name.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
What you say, Matt?
Oh, hold on a second here. My computer was dying. Oh Lord.
Oh Lord, not the computer dying.
Okay, there we go. Hey, time. All right. All right. Very good story here. He was never a household name, but Albert Murray was one of the most important Black thinkers of the 20th century. As Blacks fought in the streets for civil rights, Black nationalists dueled in academy and in books and essays. The essayist and social critic changed the way people talked about race by challenging Black separatism and insisting that the Black experience was central to American culture. This is what he said. He said, the United States is not a nation of black and white people, Mr. Murray said. Any fool can see that white people are not really white and that black people are not black. Murray also eventually became close friends with Ramir Burden, the I could pronounce this for me, Anita. Intro. That's it, painter. And
I'm not on the story. She's like,
oh, that's all right. I got it. Yeah, hey, listen here. You know, you have to talk your way through stuff.
uh-huh.
And a mentor to jazz musician Wyntel Marcellus.
Wynton Marcellus.
Yeah, Murray was a novelist, but it is through his essays that he is best known. He was informed by his love of music. He wrote passionately about blues and jazz. I love some of the sounds from that era.
Me too.
Okay, his knowledge of Black culture and his astounding command of literature. One of his best books, that he wrote in 1970, The I'm Not Americans, was a collection of essays about punishing critique of Black separatism, filled with Murray trademark blunt wit. It insisted that America was a nation of multicolored people who shared a common destiny. Writer Walker Percy called it the most important book on Black-white relationships, indeed on American culture, published in this generation. Yes, yeah.
Great story.
I'm Not Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling y'all, we've been having the good stuff up on here, and we do celebrate and applaud. Wait a minute, and the thing is that I didn't get the bird watcher lady, so let me get her first. So I didn't get her, but I didn't get her, and I, you know, when you're going through them, it's like, oh man, I forgot. And I was like, as soon as you were reading, I was like, man, I didn't hit her with the womp womp. I had to go back and get her with the womp womp, and we have to go back and get him with the teams up, and then we gotta get one for the teams up for our last presentation. We get him too. Yes. With equal opportunity. With equal opportunity, everybody gets a sound. All righty. Well, we have come to the end. This is our last one. We have completed our evening for you all. I'm so glad we had this time together. But we gotta go. All right. So we're gonna be leaving you right now. But we asked before we leave that you would do a few things for us. Number one, that you would subscribe and you would like and you would share. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscription button, set your notification, hit that arrow, share it because it'll still be up. The other thing is that you can sow a seed via Cash App at $ Movement Worldwide, or become a patron by going to our Patreon account. You can go to our website, Movement Worldwide. There's a patron button there. Click that, set up your account, set up your amount. We have some $12 a month. That's 40 cents a day. Whatever the seed is greatly appreciated. Hit everywhere you see that globe. Follow us, Movement Worldwide. And you can also email us at info@movementworldwide.org. And now, without further ado, let me give the rundown. And the rundown is, we start out our week with Annette L Anderson from her organization called SOAR. And through SOAR, she graces us with her presence with TNT. That's Tuesday Night Talk, where we take flight and soar. That speak, orate, articulate, and
No, you didn't.
reverberate.
You know how you dance and sit down.
You're dancing, girl. I'm an expert. So that's speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate. And that's every Tuesday night live on this platform, Facebook and YouTube. Then join us on Wednesday. We are right back here every Wednesday with Can We Talk, where you can let your hair down, chill, pull out your mug, have a little drink, chill with us, have conversation, be inspired, motivated, encouraged, get the transformational topic that make you go, that hard to have conversation called the power tool, and then have fun with our tea time topics. We got the best tea time topics, y'all. We got the best tea time topics, and it's every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. live right here on this platform, Facebook and YouTube. And then on Fridays, if you're not a part of Clubhouse, join Clubhouse, download the app, meet us in the Movers and Shakers room. Let's have a conversation. Join us. We want to see you. We want to talk to you. Just download the app, look for us, follow us, and we'll get you in the room. But if you can't find it, you can always text the word movers to 954-820-50. 954-820-5050. What? 954-820-5050. What? 954-820-5050. What? 954-8. 954-820-5050. Text the word movers. You get a link right into the room. And then on Sunday,
yes,
we are
Sunday.
right back here with Power Walk Sunday, where we inspire and motivate you to walk into your God-given destiny with power and conviction, where there is always, say always, Annette.
Always.
Where there is always a word for you. And that's Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. live right here on this platform. And Annette, your final thoughts for tonight?
Oh my goodness. Thank y'all so much for sharing. Listen, this time go by so fast. We really, really, really love it. I can't imagine doing nothing else. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Anita gave you the rundown. Please join us. We got a lot of stuff going on, and there's a lot of platforms, and please join in next week when you come back. Bring somebody. We will appreciate it. We love you. Thank you so much.
Yes. All right, good people. As we said, we are, you ain't got to go home, but this is going to cut off in a few minutes. So we love y'all. We appreciate you. We give you some love. Meet us back here on this platform another time. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Walk into your God-given destiny with power and conviction with Power Walk Sunday. Each and every Sunday at 10 a.m. live on multiple platforms. TNT, that's Tuesday Night Talk with Annette L. Anderson, every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live on multiple platforms. Go where you can soar. That's speak it, orated, articulated, and reverberated. When we eat well, we live well, and all will be well. Go to elbwell.com, join the journey, and take your life back. You can also join Eat Well, Live Well, Be Well every second and fourth Saturday at 3 p.m. for Be Well, a health and wellness series. If you don't have your copy, get yours today at Amazon.com. That's Living Life One Quote at a Time by Annette L. Anderson. Helping us grow spiritually together. Tired of the fluff and puff of playing church? Ready to be a powerful vessel? Ready to work the word? Join Connie Green every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live. And we're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. live with Can We Talk? Your co-hosts, Annette L. Anderson and Anita Faye Wilson, with Tea Time Topics, where we discuss trending subjects and current events. You can also discuss these with your Can We Talk coffee mug. Email us at info@movementworldwide.org. They're $15, and that includes shipping. Make a donation via Cash App at $Movement Worldwide, or go to our website, click the Patreon button, and sow a seed of $12 per month. That's 40 cents a day. Whatever the seed, it's greatly appreciated. Be sure to follow us on all platforms. Click the notification button, subscribe, like, and don't forget to share.